Hey guys, Marathon here, and if I've learned one thing after becoming a father 5 or so times, listen, it's hard to keep track. I know one thing is for certain. When your baby turns 1 month old, get them prepared for a monkey. And no, I'm not talking about Diddy. The Nintendo Switch 2 recently turned 1 month old. Wow, 215 more months and you'll be able to wash away all your problems with the sweet taste of sticky tables in the local bar and cigarettes. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. The Switch 2 just turned 1 month old and man, I remember when I turned 1 month old. I just poed. But before not getting too ahead of ourselves, we need to not get too ahead of getting too ahead of ourselves by talking about the Switch 2, from gender reveal all the way to birth. This is weird. Hey, don't listen to that guy, he likes Sonic Forces. So the Switch 2 was officially revealed January 16, 2025 in a video titled An Update from Nintendo. Hey guys, recently there's been some allegations made against me. People have been saying that I sent 1,985 children my nudes. And whilst this might be correct, 1985, that's the year Super Mario Bros. Came out. And I remember exactly where I was when this trailer came out. I had just finished my day of uni and I realised, oh man, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD had just came out. And first of all, congratulations to Donkey Kong. So I thought, hey, I'm going into City Centre anyway to do some food shopping, or as I like to call it, my bread turned a bit too green for my liking. So I also might as well pick up Donkey Kong. I walked into game and I saw it. This beautiful monkey slash gorilla slash ape slash definitely not a fish.
Yeah, my grandparents can confirm.
Was on the shelf. I picked it up, I took it over to the counter and the guy said, oh man, did your bread also turn a bit too green? But he also said, oh yeah, no worries, I'll just go grab the cartridge from the back. I was stood there for a couple minutes, but then when he came back to the desk, he said, this. My bread also turned a bit too green. He told me that they didn't have any cartridges left, and if they did, he didn't know where they were. But if I waited 40 minutes, his boss would finish his lunch break, so I could just ask him. I told him that I was gonna wait, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, all I did was sit down for a bit, thought about what I was gonna do for the next 40 minutes, and then just walked back. But whilst I was sitting down, I received a YouTube notification. Peanut Butter Gamer uploaded an update from Nintendo. I clicked on the video then and there, and I'm still in game, I will remind you. But this video was incredible. The trailer kicks off. Boom, Nintendo Switch. Whoa! The Joy-Cons come off. Whoa! The screen size increases. Hey, my Willy can do that, it's no big deal. The kickstand is revealed to be more like the OLED kickstand, and oh man, I wonder how far back it can go. Whoa! And then the Joy-Cons, they increased in size, a new C button was teased, and the sticks have colour underneath them. Okay, one last time, but whoa! Mouse controls are briefly teased. This is our first look at the next generation of Nintendo. And also a new Mario Kart was shown off. Holy balls, a new Mario Kart was shown off? Okay, I lied. Whoa! This trailer, yes, was only 2 minutes, but my god, I creamed. In the middle of a game. This is my first time ever being on the internet when a new Nintendo console is coming out, so the fact I was watching this video in a game shop was weirdly magical. I grew up watching numerous videos about how exciting it was when the 3DS was coming out and the Wii U was almost dead, so experiencing the first look at the brand new console in such a weird place was awesome. And then also a Switch 2 Direct was announced for April 2nd. What? This trailer was magical, and as soon as I got back Donkey Kongless, I filmed an analysis video, and it was so good that apparently it made the fire alarm go off. I want to know what this little button here does, because it is literally just a square. I thought there was going to be like a little indicator or something, but no, it's just straight up a square. I will be back. That's the fire alarm, by the way. And now all that was left for us virgins to do was wait for this Switch 2 Direct. What? Yeah, so a week before the Switch 2 Direct, a Switch 1 Direct was announced, and I'm going to be entirely honest, I wasn't expecting much from this. It was just going to be a load of remakes, and there was definitely not going to be any Tomodachi Life 2 shown.
Tomodachi Life, living the dream.
Holy balls! Tomodachi Life 2 is real! I grew up with the 3DS, and my absolute favourite game for the console was Tomodachi Life. This game is just genuine fun. Even playing it today, it has a charm that no other games have been able to replicate. So, when Tomodachi Life Living the Dream was announced, it's safe to say I was pretty excited. Is it Animal Crossing? you just fart? Everything else in this direct was kind of whatever. New Rhythm Heaven, or Rhythm Paradise as it's called in the UK, apparently is cool. And there's a couple, oh man, that's super cool moments. But Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream was my highlight of not only this direct, but this might be my favourite direct announcement ever. And we still have the Switch 2 direct next week, and with the power of time travel, I'm pregnant. This always happens. After telling my teacher I was sick or whatever excuse I came up with, it was finally time to watch the first ever Switch 2 Direct, and oh boy, what a Nintendo Direct this was. Direct kicks off and boom, we get an in-depth look at the new Mario Kart. Oh yeah! This game looked incredible. I never realised how bland Mario Kart Deluxe is before this game got announced, but I mean, just look at the new DK design compared to the old one. Ugh. This new trailer revealed 24-player races driving on water, the new glider mechanics, some absolutely beautiful looking tracks, rail grinding and wall jumping all in the first minute. What? The cow from Moo Moo Meadows is playable? What the balls? The insert enemy from insert Mario game is playable? What the balls? This character roster looked insane, but weirdly enough, there was a couple fan favourite characters who weren't spotted in this trailer. None of the Koopalings, Petey Piranha, Dry Bowser, and the weirdest of all, Diddy Kong. All these characters were weirdly absent from this trailer, but hey, there's always potential future trailers that could reveal these characters, unless this alarm is gonna be mad. But back to the trailer, we got the grand return of the Mega Mushroom, the brand new hammer item along with Hammer Bro. You can turn into a truck, you can eat a burger to change costume. And then boom, Mario Kart World. And man, what an overwhelming trailer. There was so much new stuff shown off in under 2 minutes. But then we get more information and you can play as Judge and Chuck. There was a massive world map shown. Weather effects, an open world was shown off. They revealed that you can drive to the next course right after you finish one. Knockout Tour, a brand new mod all about trying to meet a certain placement as a continuous race goes on. Free Roam, which allows you to explore this massive open world. And Mario Kart World releases the same day as the Switch 2, and wow, what an incredible start to this direct. So much new stuff was shown off. And there was a Mario Kart World specific direct announced for April 17th, so I'm sorry. Luckily for my heart, we moved on to some lighter things. This man explained Joy-Con 2 because what the balls is that? He revealed that this new C button is a voice chat feature, and Nintendo showed off a bunch of friends playing Mario Kart with each other being all friendly. How would voice chat go with Mario Kart with an actual group of friends? Oh, I hope both sides of your pillow are really warm. I hope you turn on the shower and it is boiling hot. Oh, I'm gonna have to start calling you Mr. Stinky Mouse because you stink of absolute shit. Oh, I hope your dad gets shot. This is a great feature. It's nothing groundbreaking because, hey, this is just Discord. But it's good that Nintendo is leaning into the multiplayer console kind of thing. And the Switch 2 has a built-in microphone. Normal people heard Nintendo's, autistic people heard WarioWare. I heard Laurel. I probably won't use Game Chat. I much prefer playing with people in person when I can, but it's a cool option to have available. But then they also revealed the Switch 2 camera, and oh man, WarioWare is gonna be sick! This camera allows you to see your friends' faces during game chat, and from what we saw in the trailer, the quality looked better than the 3DS. But you can also use the camera in games. Mario Party was the first one shown off here, and the idea of being able to see someone's face as you steal their star is genius. So yeah, whilst this whole game chat thing isn't too revolutionary or anything, it's still a cool feature to have on the Switch 2. They then shared some more information about the console itself. Bigger screen, same thickness, this is just my Tinder bio. 120 FPS was revealed, and all these frames will be super helpful for Connect 4. Bigger SL and SR buttons are shown off, and as somebody who uses sideways Joy-Cons quite regularly while playing multiplayer, I like this. Mouse controls, and oh man, is that a dead horse in my pocket? Or is that just WarioWare I smell? It's the dead horse. So yeah, I'm not a tech nerd or anything, but you can still see the increase in quality compared to the Switch 1. But does it have games? Not really. Nintendo Switch 2 welcomed Tour, a game design all about teaching the player about the Switch 2 and what it can do. There's a bunch of information scattered around this small world with small but cute mini games to play. This looked like an awesome packing game. What? I was so shocked, I spelled what wrong. Yeah, so the price of the Switch 2 Welcome Talk game wasn't actually shown off, so a lot of people first assumed that it was free, until we later discovered that it's £10. Yeah, not many people understood this price. It's not like it's too expensive or anything. I just feel like we shouldn't have to pay for this game at all. It's just a bunch of tech demos, and I'm not being mean, Nintendo themselves said this. This looked like a cute way to find stuff out about the Switch 2, just not a £10 way. Weirdly enough, there was no pricing information talked about in this direct, but I'm sure it'll be fine. They won't charge like £70 for Mario Kart or anything. Nobody telling. Next, there was a couple more things shown off about the console. A new Pro Controller was shown off, featuring new back buttons, and I've owned a couple controllers with back buttons before, but I don't think I've ever used them. For a couple specific games, these might be useful, but I've never played those specific games. And then the launch date, which was revealed to be June 5th, and as somebody with the release date of June 8th, I was happy about this. Then they talked about games, but not actually games, but the different types of games. We have Nintendo Switch 2 games, we have Nintendo Switch games, but we also have Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Whoa? These Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games are set to feature enhancements to Nintendo Switch 1 games, like improved visuals, unique ways to play, and more. And yes, I'm reading the script instead of saying behind in front of my desk, because this clip took me far too long to get, and I want to kill myself. 2 centimeters of rain today, though. More unique ways to play, please. I've played 1-2 Switch with a pocket of beans before. And then, boom, Jamboree TV jump scare. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Mario Party Jamboree was revealed. Jamboree TV. They revealed new minigames using mouse controls, the Switch 2's built-in microphone, and you can use the Switch 2 camera to do this. Oh, finally! More information about the camera usage in Mario Party mode was shared. Bowser Live. This mode looked pretty fun, but I just don't get what you actually do in the mode. You play new mini-games, and don't get me wrong, all these new mini-games did look fun, but what's Bowser doing? So yeah, Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV looked very fun, and looked like a great way to showcase the Switch 2's new features. Next, they revealed Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions, and I don't really have much to say as I've never played any of these games, but congrats, Zelda-nators. Did I just say a slur? Kirby and the Forgotten Land also has a Switch 2 edition, featuring a new story called Starcross World. This new mode looked pretty cool, and any excuse to play more Kirby and the Forgotten Land is always welcome. Metroid Prime 4 also has a Switch 2 edition, but just like Zelda, I don't really care about Metroid Prime, but congrats, Metroid-nators. Pokemon Legends ZA also has a Switch 2 edition, but as somebody who absolutely hates Pokemon Legends Arceus, I don't care. But then on to a brand new game. Okay. Drag and Drive. I saw absolutely nobody talk about this afterwards, and honestly, for a good reason. It didn't look bad per se, just not very exciting. It just looked weirdly slow for a basketball game, especially with this theming, and when it was revealed that this wasn't a Switch 2 launch title, I don't care about this game. But then they showed off some games from their publishing and development partners, which I think is just a fancy way of saying, we didn't make these games. And the first game they showed off was none other than Elden Ring, and man, what a good game to start with. This game looked good on Switch 2, and is a super cool game to even see come to the Switch 2. Then we got Hades 2, which I've heard incredible things about both games in the series. And then Street Fighter 6 was shown off, and I've wanted to play this game ever since it got revealed, and it looks good on Switch 2. And then we got a trailer for... Yeah, I don't really like Daemon X Machina. I know nothing about the game, but this game was shown off in way too many directs back in the day that I just hate everything Daemon X Machina now. But that being said, this new game does actually look pretty good. EA Sports? Okay. Then we got Hogwarts Legacy, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Yakuza 0 and Hitman, 4 massive games that are all incredible to see come to the Switch 2. Then this guy said, yeah, take a look at this Nintendo game. So this is a parents' evening. Your child stabbed someone. This new game was a Zelda game, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment to be exact, and weirdly enough, I feel like I saw nobody talking about this game after the direct. I know literally nothing about Hyrule Warriors, so maybe people just hate this series, but it was still weird seeing nobody talk about a brand new Zelda game. Personally, I don't really care about this announcement, but it's cool to see a new Zelda game get announced. I still don't care. Then we got some news on Switch Online, with this news being that GameCube games are now part of the service and are exclusive to Switch 2, which is awesome. The launch lineup is kind of small. I would have liked at least one more game, but the games we did get are some of the GameCube's greats. Zelda Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX, these are all incredible games, but come on, only 3 games? Although they did showcase some more games they're planning on bringing to the service, and the GameCube just has such a big library of games. But then we got some more games made by other people, kicking things off with Deltarune Chapters 1 through 4. Then we got Borderlands 4, which looks amazing on Switch 2. Civilization 7? I don't know. Although I will say having mouse controls for a game like this is pretty cool. I still have no idea what this game is though, so here's a picture of the drink I just made. But then we got Cyberpunk 2077, and I've heard controversial things about this game in the past, but it's still a huge game to see come to the Switch. And then right after this, we got Final Fantasy VII Remake. Huh! I've wanted to play this game ever since it got announced, and my god, it looks incredible on Switch 2. Then we got a quick highlight reel of other games coming to the Switch 2, nothing too crazy here. What the balls? I know almost nothing about Silksong, but what I do know is that this game has been in development for years, so having it shown off here, even if it was just for me a seconds, is incredible. So yeah, what an absolutely bonkers third-party lineup already confirmed for Switch 2, and with so many games being revealed to be released on the same day as the Switch 2, this launch lineup looked insane. Then this guy said here's one more game not made by yours, and last time he said this we got Hyrule Warriors revealed, so I was expecting this to be another Nintendo franchise they're just letting another team play with. Huh? The trailer starts and it is weird. There's a guy sleeping. Ah! This game is The Duskbloods, a Souls-like game developed by From Software exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. What? This is insane. An exclusive Switch 2 From Software game? And one that looks good? The atmosphere, the graphics, the music, the Duskbloods looked amazing. Then we got Kirby Air Riders announced, a brand new game in the Kirby Air Ride series, and not much of this game was shown off, but what was shown off looked incredible. And this game is being directed by Masahiro Sakurai, which honestly makes me want to play the game just because he's directing it. Because he's the GOAT. And then the final trailer of this direct, and everybody knew that this would be a brand new 3D Donkey Kong game. What? Yeah, everyone was expecting a brand new 3D Mario game to close this direct, but nope, screw you, it's Donkey Kong, and oh my god, it's Donkey Kong. This game looks incredible. Donkey Kong's wearing overalls though, and I don't really like that. Yeah, this new DK design was kind of controversial. A lot of people didn't like it at first, including myself, but now that we've had time to get used to it, man, this design is so good. Donkey Kong Bonanza looked incredible, and with a release date of July 17th, it was close. And so was I. And there we have it, the first ever Switch 2 Direct, and overall, whilst this Direct didn't feature much from Nintendo themselves, the third-party support is incredible. Although, weirdly enough, there was no pricing information talked about in this Direct, but I'm sure Mario Kart World won't be £75 or anything. Who told him? The biggest thing people were talking about after this Direct were the prices. And listen, £75 for Mario Kart is ridiculous, but apart from that, I don't really have a problem with the Switch 2's prices. DK Bonanza is £67, Street Fighter 6 is £50, the console itself is £400, but the console with Mario Kart is £30 extra. These prices are obviously more than the Switch 1's prices, but that was expected. And also, if you're buying a Switch 2, you were probably going to buy Mario Kart World anyway, so just get the bundle. But yeah, after the Switch 2 Direct, we got more videos of DK Country Returns HD and high pre-orders. People were struggling to pre-order the Switch 2, including myself. As soon as stores would get more Switch 2s in stock, it felt like they would sell out pretty much immediately. But being entirely honest, I was planning on just buying a Switch 2 when Donkey Kong came out anyway, so I wasn't too bothered about pre-ordering. But one evening my dad found a Switch 2 available for pre-order on a website, and I immediately kind of assumed that this website was a scam, but from what I could see, this was legit. So we pre-ordered it, and it was a bundle that came with not only Mario Kart World, but also the Switch 2 camera. But also whilst waiting for June 5th to come around, we got the Mario Kart World Direct on April 17th. We sure did. This direct was very nothing. There was a couple of new things shown off, but it felt like everything shown off in this direct could have just been a 5-minute trailer on Twitter or something. It showed off a couple of new things, a rewind feature that allows you to rewind time for yourself, the lack of Diddy Kong, new techniques, the lack of Diddy Kong, new items, the lack of Diddy Kong, dash food, the lack of Diddy Kong. Oh, sorry, I just haven't taken my Viagra yet. Yeah, so none of these characters that I previously mentioned are in Mario Kart World, and people were not happy about this, but listen. I feel like people were acting like Nintendo chose between adding Diddy Kong or a dolphin, when in reality Nintendo probably just thought, hey, wouldn't a dolphin be kinda silly? But let's take a look at some of these characters that didn't get included in Mario Kart World, starting things off with Diddy Kong, a fan favourite and one of my personal favourites. But here's the thing, I feel like Diddy Kong is just kind of one of those characters that just isn't in Mario Kart sometimes. He first appeared in Double Dash, but then wasn't included in Mario Kart DS, but then got added back in Mario Kart Wii, but then wasn't in Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 8, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe base roster, but then got added back as DLC. He's just kind of one of those characters that doesn't get included sometimes, which does suck because he is one of my personal favourites, but I just feel like people are acting like Diddy Kong not being in Mario Kart is a brand new thing. P.E. Piranha is also a weird character to see not get included, especially since there's just a normal Piranha Plant playable now. But again, like with Diddy, I feel like P.E. Piranha just isn't playable sometimes. And then a fan favourite character in the Mario Kart community, Funky Kong. And listen, I love Funky Kong, he's awesome, but I just feel like he was a bit of a weird character to be in Mario Kart to begin with. Funky doesn't really do much in the actual Donkey Kong games, he just kind of sells stuff and is hot. I think a character like Dixie Kong or even King K. Rool would have made more sense as a third DK rep in Mario Kart Wii. And listen, this isn't me saying I hate Funky Kong or whatever, I love Funky Kong, he's awesome, and the fact that he's broken in Mario Kart Wii is hilarious. And then the Koopalings, another set of characters I've seen people talk about. Man, I'm so done. I remember hearing so many people talk about how much they hate the Koopalings in Mario Kart 8, and how they take up just so much of the roster. But now that they're not in Mario Kart, people suddenly like the Koopalings? And listen, I get that the main reason people didn't like the Koopalings in Mario Kart 8 was because they took up so much of the roster. But I swear people that were complaining about that are now acting like they're the biggest Koopaling fans on the planet. But yeah, I miss the Koopalings. They're just kind of weird little tumors, and Lemmy's my dog. Man, Kamek really can't catch a break. They really got hit with the whole assist trophy treatment. And I honestly don't understand why. Kamek is a really popular character and they've been in the series for a long time. We all know the history of Kamek in Mario Kart. He was planned to be playable in Mario Kart 64, planned to be playable in another game that I can't be bothered to look up, and then he finally got his chance in Mario Kart Deluxe as DLC, and then now he's an item. This is my version of the Holocaust. And this new Kamek item could have very easily been a Wonderflower or something. So yeah, as much as it sucks that these characters aren't in Mario Kart World, I feel like people are acting like these characters not being in Mario Kart is a brand new thing. But yeah, we got a Switch 2 pre-order, and when June 5th came around, my dad received an email saying that the parcel was expected to come between 10 AM and 2 PM. I woke up at 9:30 and I sat by the door the entire morning. I didn't shower, I didn't walk the dogs, I did bake brownies, but apart from that, all I did was just sit and wait. Because if the Switch 2 came and I wasn't there to sign the parcel, there was a chance the Switch 2 could have been sent back. So I waited and waited, and it hit 2 o'clock, which is the time my dad finishes work. I hear him pull into the driveway, and I also hear that the postman's coming to our door. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna kill myself. But the Switch 2 had came, and on the 8th of June, so will I. I wasn't allowed the Switch 2 until my birthday, which I didn't mind because, well, it was only 3 days. I swear to God, over these 3 days, every single post I saw on my Twitter feed was about Mario Kart World. Before these 3 days, yeah, I'd see a couple here and there, and now that I have the Switch 2, yeah, I still see a couple now and there. What the balls? Mario Kart World looked incredible, and then when my birthday finally came around, me and my dad went to Lidl. Yay. It was my birthday, which meant I was finally able to hold the Switch 2. Barely. Yeah, the Switch 2 is a lot bigger than the Switch 1. It's kind of hard to notice this in trails and such, but now that it's in my hands, Jesus. I set up the Switch, I transferred all my data over, and it was finally time to play Mario Kart World. After an hour and a half. Yeah, so Mario Kart World took an hour and a half to download it. You see, I get that this is a big game, but what am I supposed to do whilst I'm waiting? Yo! I also got this Mario Lego set for my birthday because, well, I'm 19 now. Of course I got Lego. This was kind of a weird gift as I've never really mentioned this Mario Lego before or even played much with Lego in the past, but man, Mario Lego is just kind of pretty cool. My experience in Mario Lego is almost nothing, but I do have another Mario Lego set I won in a Nintendo giveaway, the Peach Starter Course. I never played the Mario Lego app, but I did build a lot of the pieces and I had a good time. It's cool seeing how they created this in Lego form, and the fact that these aren't just Lego and they do have some kind of game included, it's really cool. I got the Donkey Kong and DK Jumbo set where you get to build Donkey Kong along with a funky looking car. And not only does this car actually car, but you can also shoot red shells to hit down a target. And the Lego often looks surprisingly good. Besides Lemmy, but hey, you don't look good as Lego either. But then midway through building Donkey Kong, Mario Kart finished downloading, which meant it was finally time to experience Mario Kart World. Wow! So, booting the game up, the layout is pretty similar to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We have single player, multiplayer, online play, wireless play, and then 3 other buttons at the bottom, being stickers, map, and manual. Oh boy, what does that mean? No way! Clicking on single player, we get 5 more options, and man, if you love games with this that have 5 more options after clicking single player, do I have a game for you? These 5 options are Grand Prix, the brand new Knockout Tour, Time Trial, Versus Race, and Battle Mode. After selecting Grand Prix, we get our first look at the character select screen. Ugh. Why are the character skins separate slots? Like, I get that pressing X sorts them so the skins are right after the character, but why aren't they just in a drop-down menu after selecting a character like the Yoshi and Shy Guy clothes were in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? But speaking of costumes, we have some good ones. And I'm not going to talk about every single costume because, well, I guarantee Nintendo Land has already made 15 videos about that exact topic. But here are my favourite costumes for each character. Starting things off with Mario, who has a really cool sightseeing costume. I really like Gondolier Luigi and hate whatever the Balls of Oasis Luigi is. Peach has really cool yukata and vacation outfits. I probably pronounced yukata wrong, but are you surprised? Daisy Oasis is really cool, Yoshi Soft Server is neat. Donkey Kong makes me suicidal. Why does Donkey Kong only have one skin? And why does it look like a 2010 Burger King toy? Anyway, none of Bowser's skins I'm really that crazy about, but Biker is pretty cool. Bowser Jr.'s Explorer skin is really cool, and I love Koopa Troopa Sailor. Burger Toad? Wow! Conductor Toadette is one of my favourites, but I also really like Soft Server Toadette. Lakitu has 2 really good skins, and King Boo has an outfit that makes him look like a piece of toast according to my sister. Pirate Wario's really cool, Waluigi's Vampire and Mariachi outfits are the best thing I've seen all year. Birdo's new Miss Piggy looking design is the worst thing I've seen all year. Pauline also has only 1 skin, but hey, she deserves it. Screw you, Pauline fans. Rosalina Aurora. Smash. Baby Mario's swimwear outfit is really cool, and Baby Luigi got done dirty with his skins. Baby Peach Explorer is cool, Baby Daisy Touring is cool, and I may be the first person in the world to ever call his outfits cool. And then Baby Rosalina's touring outfit is really cool, and I love the long sleeves. And the NPC characters don't have skins, but it said you have to lock the rest of them in the worst way possible. Yay. Yeah, so you have a decent amount of these NPC characters unlocked from the start, but to unlock the rest of them, you need to be transformed into these characters by the Kamek item. But the Kamek item can transform you into NPC characters you already have, and this Kamek item is pretty rare, and this way of unlocking characters is stupid, and whoever came up with this should be shot. And can you tell I don't like this way of unlocking characters? And I took my Viagra. This way of unlocking characters is dumb. Just plain dumb. And the worst part is it didn't need to be this dumb. Open World Mario Kart allowed for so many cool ways to unlock characters. So the fact that what we got is completely luck based, it's just plain dumb. Like in Free Roam there's these racers driving around, and I've noticed that a lot of these racers are the NPC characters. So why didn't Nintendo make it so you can challenge these racers on whatever track they might be associated with, and if you win the race you unlock them as a character? And these NPC characters already have tracks that they're associated with, so boom, I just created a brand new way of unlocking these characters without joking it. Hey, this Viagra won't use itself. I appreciate that Nintendo's making unlocking characters hard again. I mean, I still don't have Me-Type B unlocked in Mario Kart Wii, but say it with me now. This is just dumb. So, after picking my character, I went with Sidestep to represent what I have. Then we move on to the kart selection. Nothing much to comment on here. There's a road bike which is pretty cool. I'm picking Lil Dumpy. Hey, last time I picked my Lil Dumpy, I got kicked out of the funeral. And then now, just like Who Is, it's all about the cups, and we have 8 to choose from, but you do need to unlock the special cup. I saw some people complaining about the number of tracks in this game, but I think people are forgetting that 32 tracks without DLC is the usual. Mario Kart Deluxe does have more than 32 without DLC, yes, but I feel like people forget that these extra 4 cups were DLC in the Wii U game. So, let's get things started with the Mushroom Cup, starting things off with Mario Bros. Circuit. Mario Kart World feels nice to control and it looks incredible. It's not hyper-realistic or whatever, but that would be disgusting. Mario Bros. Circuit is a fine enough circuit track. We get our first look at rail grinding here, which feels great, and it's a solid first track. I don't know how memorable it will be long term. Visually it's kind of boring, but thankfully we're not in the long term yet. I like the feather item. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it has its potential. Talking about items though, this game brought back the Mega Mushroom, which is super cool to see back. The Coin Shell. The Ice Flower makes its Mario Kart debut and it's a cool item. That's all I have to say, I just wanted to make that pun. The Hammer is a cool new item, the question mark block is a new item, and Kamek is the bane of my existence. And then Dashford, which is how you unlock the different characters' outfits. Overall, I don't hate any of these items, and some of them I even hope become mainstays in the series going forwards. A big new feature of Mario Kart World is driving to the next course, and I'm going to be entirely honest, I didn't really like this idea at first. And even now, I'd much rather play just 3 laps of the course and not have to drive to it, but I like this way more than I thought I would. I assumed that a lot of these were just going to be boring highways, but for a majority of these, this isn't the case. The next track is Crown City, which feels straight out of Sonic Adventure 2 and almost feels like a more modern version of Coconut Mall. Really cool track. It is again kind of bland visually, it's more realistic, but the layout is really nice to drive. Next up is Whistletop Summit, a cool track in the moment, but I always forget it until I play it again. Whenever I do replay it, I'm like, this is Whistletop Summit? Correct, and this is a dead mouse. And the final track in the Mushroom Cup, DK Spaceport. This track is incredible, one of my favourite tracks in the game actually. It almost feels like a Bowser's Castle, but Donkey Kong, with the massive robot Donkey Kong throwing barrels at you at the end of the track. Overall, a very solid first cup, with some really cool courses. Next up is the Fireflower Cup, starting things off with Desert Hills. I don't really like desert tracks in Mario Kart, but Desert Hills is a fine retro track. Shy Guy Bazaar is an awesome track to see get remade, and it looks beautiful in Mario Kart World. Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64 is back and is super cool now. Feels kind of similar to Excite Bike Stadium with all the tricks you can perform. And then Airship Fortress, another super cool remake. Absolutely fantastic cup. Hey, last time I said that, I got fired from my teaching job. Next up is the Star Cup, starting things off with DK Pass, and you see, this track isn't bad, but it always felt like a worse DK Summit. Next up is Starview Peak, an absolutely stunning track with a great layout. Sky High Sunday returns from Mario Kart Deluxe, an interesting track to see return, but this new version of the track is a big improvement. And then Wario Shipyard, or Wario Galleon as it's called in the UK for some reason. Do I have to censor the word? I've heard a lot of people say they really like this track, but to me this track is just kind of whatever. There's just nothing that really stands out to me, but it's a fine track for what it is. Next up, the Shell Cup. Starting things off with Koopa Troopa Beach, a fine track, just nothing too spectacular. Next up is Faraway Oasis, a very cool track with some beautiful scenery. Crown City? Like I've seen this one before. Yeah, for some reason Crown City is the only track that features in 2 cups. This really threw me off when I first saw it online, and I just kind of assumed it was a placeholder on the website, but no, this is just straight up Crown City again. Although it does apparently take you on a different route this time. And then Peach Stadium to finish the Shell Cup, a super awesome track with a great layout and theme. Next up is the Banana Cup, starting things off with Peach Beach, an incredible remake of a track I never really cared for in Mario Kart Wii. The new section they added in this remake is super cool, and the visuals are awesome. Next up is Salty Salty Speedway, a good track with some good difficulty, just too many wide water sections. Dino Dino Jungle, an awesome track from Double Dash, and this remake is solid. I do feel like it's lost some of its pizzazz from the original, but I like the increase in difficulty this track has. And then Great Question Mark Block Ruins, a fantastic new track. This one just feels so open and there's so many different paths you can take. Next up is the Leaf Cup, kicking things off with Cheap Cheap Falls, a super neat theme for a track, and it allowed me to unlock Coin Coffer, whatever the ball's Coin Coffer is. I really like Dandelion Depths. It's nothing too crazy, but the layout feels really natural, and the theme reminds me of Wooden Kingdom from Mario Odyssey. And then we move on to Boost Cinema, such a good idea for a track, and they nailed everything. And then Drybone's Burnout, a super cool track, and as a true boner, it's awesome to see Drybones get a track themed after him. And there's a what? And then the Lightning Cup starting things off with Moo Moo Meadows? Very weird track to have in the Lightning Cup, but Moo Moo Meadows is always a time. Next up we have Choco Mountain, which is a super cool track to have remade in a not Mario Kart Tour style, and the new additions to the track are awesome. Toad Factory, one of the best tracks in the entire series, and this remake does the original justice and then some. And then Mario Kart World Bowser's Castle, an absolutely amazing Bowser's Castle. The energy and effects here are off the charts, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And then the Special Cup, starting things off with Acorn Heights, a super cool tree track, which I feel like a lot of people would assume is just a worse version of Maple Treeway, but the two are pretty distinct. And then we got Mario Circuit in the Special Cup. It's not a bad track, but why is it in the Special Cup? But then we got Peach Stadium again. Yeah, I lied earlier. But then we have Mario Kart World's Rainbow Road, and man, this is one of the best Rainbow Roads in the entire series. Maybe the best. It's such a magical way to end such a magical game. So yeah, overall Mario Kart World has some incredible tracks. Not all of them are bangers, but the ones that are bangers are really something special. And that's Grand Prix, and I think I've got pretty good at this game so far. So why not try out Knockout Tour online? And that's Grand Prix, and I think I've got pretty bad at this game so far. So why try out Knockout Tour online? Knockout Tour is generally some of the most fun I've ever had playing Mario Kart. You start off with 24 people in the race, but as the race goes on, you pass these checkpoints. If you're not higher than the position shown off in the bottom right of your corner, you're eliminated, which is hilarious whilst playing multiplayer. Today was gonna be the day. This is such a fun mode. I feel like it causes everyone to play worse with how stressful it can get. But even the worst Mario Kart players can go pretty far if they just keep placing barely high enough. And then Battle Mode. Mario Kart Deluxe's Battle Mode was awesome. It had so many fun modes, I just wonder how many they brought back. The only battle modes they brought back from Mario Kart Deluxe were Balloon Battle and Coin Runners, even though Renegade Roundup is the best thing I've ever seen. Although being entirely honest, I don't know if many people care about Battle Mode. I've seen nobody talk about it since this game released, and I hadn't even played it before making this video. And yeah, Battle Mode is fine enough, and I'll never forgive them for getting rid of Renegade Roundup, but it's not like I would have played it anyway. I'm complaining they got rid of something even though I wasn't going to play it? I really am a Nintendo fan. And then the final mode in Mario Kart World, Land Play. Free roam allows you to freely explore this world, and when this first got announced, I didn't really think I'd play it that much, but honestly, this mode is really fun. Being able to explore Mario Kart tracks without being pulled back to course by Lakitu is super cool. And there's a bunch of things to do in free roam, like finding Peach medallions, hitting P-switches, and completing short missions. Free roam is an awesome mode, I just wish it was playable in multiplayer. But that is Mario Kart World, and man, this must be what it feels like to be Scott the Woz. Mario Kart World is an incredible Mario Kart game. It just does so much right. The character roster, the tracks, Knockout Tour. Is it worth £75? No. But I think that the experiences and memories Mario Kart games make aren't worth £75, but hey, I got the bundle, so who cares? And for a couple of days, Mario Kart World was the only Switch 2 game I had. I started playing a couple other games on Switch 2, like Fortnite for example, which runs really well. But Mario Kart World was the only Switch 2 game I had. But one day when me and my mum went shopping, we went into a Sports Direct. Okay. And in Sports Direct is Game. Okay. They had a Switch 2 section, and to my surprise, they had every single Nintendo Switch 2 launch title. So I decided to pick up Street Fighter 6. I've never actually played Street Fighter much at all. I've played it a couple of times on some random plug-and-play things, but my Street Fighter experience is pretty much zero. But the story mode in Street Fighter 6 is one of the main reasons I wanted to play the game, especially for the character creator. I've always been a sucker for creating my own characters, so when I saw how much stuff you could create in Street Fighter 6, I was hooked. So I got home, I put in Street Fighter 6, and I wish I bought more Lego. I have no idea if this is maybe just an issue with my Wi-Fi, but my god, why is Switch 2 download speed so slow? Oh, and you know I'm in business because, hey, I put multiple question marks. And I get that these are bigger games, but this is the Switch 2. It's designed to play bigger games now. If this was the Switch 1 and it was taking ages to download Street Fighter 6, then I would understand it because, well, it's the Switch 1. That's like asking a baby, hey, can you speak Spanish? Bonjour. There's just something about Street Fighter 6 that makes you feel awesome. Every time I do a combo, even if it's an auto combo, I just feel like, yep, I killed that man. I have no idea how good Street Fighter 6 is in comparison to other Street Fighter games, but I'm having a really good time with Street Fighter 6 so far. Story mode is kind of whatever though. It's not bad by any means, and the character creator allowed me to create whatever the balls Jeff is, but it's just not the massive story I thought it was. It's still a fun time, it's just not the massive story I thought it was gonna be. It's a lot of just fighting random people on the street. Okay, I wrote this unironically, and Jesus Christ, I'm just gonna stop talking. And that is the Nintendo Switch 2's first month, and man, what a time it's been. Growing up watching all these videos about the 3DS releasing, and then now finally being able to experience a brand new console, it's truly been a journey and a half. Watching all the direct, seeing everyone complain about the price of Mario Kart, seeing everybody complain that Diddy Kong isn't in Mario Kart, it's truly been a magical experience. And all of this was just in the first month. We still have so much more to look forward to. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream, and so many more third-party pods coming to the system. Balls! Just as I had finished writing this video, we get a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct announced for June 18th. And last time we got a game-specific Direct, it was the Mario Kart World Direct, which, I'll remind you, kind of really stunk of Dog Turd. So maybe this DK Bonanza Direct will also kind of really stink of Dog Turd, and I won't have to talk about it. Holy balls! Donkey Kong! Donkey Kong! Donkey Kong? Holy balls! Yo, I was double prison? Yeah, I had like, I don't know, 5 or so years left, but they let me out early because I'm the Donkey Kong Holy Balls guy. Okay, be honest, is that really why they let you out early, or does your back hurt? Man, just talk about the Direct. The Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct was incredible, and really showed everyone how bad the Mario Kart World Direct was. This Direct revealed that this new Audra character is actually a kid, Pauline, and I can't wait for her to get added to Mario Kart World. We got a deeper look at DK's moveset in the game, some new characters shown off, Cranky Kong and Rambi are back. Donkey Kong has a super form, Kong Bonanza, but you can also transform into a zebra and an ostrich. We got the new bosses revealed, and one of them's hot. We got a skill tree, which allows you to upgrade abilities that you already have and unlock new ones. You can customize Donkey Kong and Pauline's appearance. Multiplayer was shown off, if you can even call it that. I prefer to call it, yeah, my little cousin has to play too many times, so I handed him a controller to shut him up. DK Artist was shown off, and I can't wait for all the inappropriate things people are gonna make. Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong are back, yeah! And wow, what an incredible looking game and an incredible Direct. Mario Kart World, take notes. In terms of other things that have been announced recently, we got a Splatoon spin-off announced, Splatoon Raiders. I don't really care about Splatoon personally, but I'm glad we're getting a spin-off game rather than Splatoon 4. So, for the last time in this video, hopefully, congrats Splatoonators. And that is the Nintendo Switch 2's first month, and man, what a time it's been. Growing up watching all these videos about the 3DS releasing and then now finally being able to experience a brand new console, it's truly been a journey and a half. Watching all the Direct, seeing everyone complain about the price of Mario Kart, seeing everybody complain that Diddy Kong isn't in Mario Kart, it's truly been a magical experience. And all of this was just in the first month. We still have so much more to look forward to. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream, and so many more third-party pods coming to the system. So why don't we use the power of time travel to see what the next months have in store for the Switch 2?
Balls!